Oh, that kind of got Halloweeny at the end there. But happy holidays to you nonetheless. That's one of my favorite themes to riff on. That's from Vince Guaraldi's Linus and Lucy from the Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack. Let me know in the chat, you guys. By the way, hey, everybody in the chat. Nice emoji game. You guys are really improving. Let us know in the chat, what's your favorite Christmas song and why, period. In fact, it doesn't even have to be Christmas song. What's your favorite holiday season song? What's your favorite winter song? Whatever you like. But this season definitely is a favorite of mine when it comes to piano music, piano jazz, and piano Christmas stuff. So you're going to hear me playing a lot of that kind of stuff. I also love the... Nice. I love that stuff, you guys. So let me know what's your favorite and why. In the meantime, how's everybody doing with the holiday medley? Boom! I am excited that we finally have this thing out and that we are really making progress quickly already. How's everybody feeling about the medley? Today, what I want to do is check in with you guys on this challenge. Now, for those of you who are new, maybe checking out this YouTube lesson, but you're not familiar with what's happening in the app, first let me tell you, we've got an interactive app that is awesome. It grades you as you play. There's even a free trial for YouTubers, so quickly I'll plug that. If you go to playgroundsessions.com/YouTube-free-trial, you can start for yourself. And you can get full access like a paid member. You got 30 days to try it. So check it out. What we're doing right now is a community learning effort. We're doing a holiday medley. So we've got a few different holiday themes that our arranging team has strung together into a really cool medley. And I believe today's lesson was, at least on the rookie side, was about putting joy to the world together with the tune that David taught, which was Jingle Bells. Now, I want to ask if there are any questions, if there are any comments, if there's anything you want to check in on. I'm your teacher after all. Now, even though David taught a portion, I can still answer Jingle Bells questions. Let me know if you guys have them. And I just want to talk about the medley today. Now, while I let you guys type some questions related to the medley, what I'd like to do is quickly check in one more time on the chat and say hey to some names. Seeing some familiar faces, or familiar names, I should say, and some not familiar, some new names. I see Franklin E. Gonzalez, Dwint. How's it going, Franklin? Thanks for joining. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Arthur Warner. Robert Atkins, Trevor Baines. What's going on? John Anderson, giving the gift. Hey, Lily Mae. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas is your favorite. I love that. Let's see if I can figure that one out. And I'll end it like that because I forget the rest. But what a beautiful tune that is. Lily Mae, what are you working on? Are you arranging your own version? Are you learning someone's specific arrangement? What's going on? Let us know. Hey, Lee Hornback. Hey, Sarah Pickles, what's up? Peter and the Wolf or the Snowman. Yep, White Christmas and Silver Bells. Oh, yeah, so good. What else? What else are we seeing in the chat here? Rianne. Hi, Rianne. Rianne says, hi, loving the Christmas challenge. Oh, I'm really glad to hear that. What's your favorite part? And what is your favorite song of the medley? What do you got? Hey, Jace. The Christmas Beyblade. Oh, seasonal. Jingle Bells. Jingle bells. Good suggestions, you guys. Good stuff, good stuff.
You're on fire.
I love Christmas music. Little Drummer Boy, that's a good one. That's a good one. What's up, Diane? Sarah Pickles. Pat Sir, Sleigh Ride is your favorite Christmas song. Kay, all right, Kay, I got you. Kay says, if someone just signed for a lifetime membership, is there any chance to do catch-up and participate in all or part of the challenge? Great question. Pardon me. Yes, the question was, if you've just signed up for a membership, but we're in the middle of one of our community challenges, which we currently are with the Holiday Medley, can you catch up? Can you start it? The answer is yes. Now, what we do is we release new content daily. So lesson 1 was released on day 1. Next day, we put out lesson 2, lesson 3 on day 3, and so on. Now, those lessons all live in the courses tab, the challenge tab. And once they're posted, they still remain. So even if you come in on day 20 or whatever it is, you're going to see all lesson 1 through 19 before you. Now, of course, you'll be a little later than the community, which means you'll miss out on some of that fun of kind of getting through it together. But of course, it'll be available to you, and you should, of course, feel free to go at your own pace. And yeah, welcome if you've just joined up. All right, let's see. Oh, Drummer Boy, or Little Drummer Boy. I'll try and play it, Rand. Let's see here. I keep going in C. I'll change keys. Let's go to G. I don't know, I got kind of bluesy there. That just was organic, but that's a fun melody and a fun one. All right, so Lily May says it's more of an arrangement of, she made an arrangement of Feliz Navidad and White Christmas. Awesome. All right, well, I could do this all day, so why don't we move on to a couple of questions or comments here. First, I want to go to one from, let's see, I saw a comment in here from Robert Atkins actually early on. Robert said, I'm having trouble playing octaves with my right hand. Okay, well, Robert, let's see. First, I would ask, is that because you just simply can't reach the octave range? And if so, unfortunately, there's only so much you can do, of course, right, about extending that range. But most of the time, I would say that if there's an octave written in music somewhere, let's say we have our Holiday Medley here, right? If the melody was in octaves like that, it would still sound correct, I guess you could say. It would still sound right. It would still sound good to just play one of those notes. Remember, playing an octave together, it is just playing the same note twice. The difference is in range, of course, and when you add range and you add multiple voices, then it can sound more full, it can sound louder. Those are some of the benefits of using octaves. But if you can't reach them, simply play one of the octaves, and that will at least allow you to get by. Now, if it's more about just sort of, you can play it, but it's uncomfortable or difficult, I would make sure that you're checking the couple of things here that you have involved with creating shapes with your hand on the piano. That's your wrist, your hand, your fingers. Make sure nothing feels too stretched or uncomfortable. Make sure you can feel relaxed as much as you can with that octave position. And beyond that, I would want to know exactly what notes you're trying to play, and maybe that might have something to do with the difficulty, depending on where that lies on the keyboard. But in general, I'd say have no fear if you can't reach an octave in notation, because you can omit one of the written notes and play the other. All right, let's see. Here's one from Joanna Leary's. Hi, Joanna. Thanks for writing in. Joanna says that you'd like to ask me if I could give some pedaling tips for the songs. That's a great idea. And in fact, maybe I could even bake in a video lesson within the challenge that addresses that same question, maybe when we get to the end and we're putting it all together, because that likely will be a popular question here. So why don't I talk a little bit about that now? We've all started with Joy to the World, and just by a show of, well, I guess, write something in the chat to let us know, not a show of hands, a show of chats. By a show of chats, let us know what difficulty level you are pursuing on your end for the medley. We've got a rookie, intermediate, and advanced path. Everyone started with the same songs, but everyone's got their own level. And so let me know if everyone's doing intermediate, for example. I'll just focus in on intermediate. But for now, I'll just keep it generic. We started with Joy to the World. Let's just keep it there for a second. So first, a couple of general, I don't even want to say rules, but a couple of considerations with the pedal. The pedal can add a nice effect, and it can kind of have a dreamy and washy effect. Some songs, some pieces of music will want that and will sound good with that. Others, it may feel a little bit out of place. And to me, the more bright and bouncy and light and up-tempo a piece is, the less we want that washy effect. So if Joy to the World was supposed to sound like this, and we wanted to create that mood, that wasn't bad, not so joyous. But then we would use the pedal, and instead, I think of Joy to the World here as more of like a kind of has that feel to it. It's heavy. It's just joyous, right? That's the name of the song. And so with that, I tend to want to use the pedal less, because otherwise you get this kind of a feeling. And especially when you have melodic lines that run through a scale or just with faster rhythms, you can quickly get those kind of blurring together with the pedal. So you definitely don't want to overuse it. Now, with that said, there's a couple of examples, even within, I believe it was Jingle Bells, that for you intermediate and advanced players, you jumped up an octave at one point. It was something like that. And let's just pretend that was it, right? So let's say it's still a joyous, a fast, kind of a feeling piece. We may not want to use the pedal for that mood or that effect, but it still can be a helpful tool when we're trying to jump hand positions while still allowing the previous harmony to linger and ring out. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say we had to do this. What I would do is use the pedal to move, and then when I get to the next chord, release it. So you're not actually hearing that washy sound. You're not hearing the blending of notes, but instead you're using the pedal as a tool to extend one harmony to allow you to move your hands to get to the next. So that's another general rule there, but as far as Joy to the World goes, I would definitely not use the pedal in your scale melody. Maybe as you're shifting up here, you could use your pedal to move, and then release, and then use your pedal to move, and then release. I would use it sparingly. Now later in the medley, I don't know if you know what song is coming up as our third song. I think it might be a surprise, actually. I'm not sure it's been released just yet, so stay tuned for that. But let's just say, hypothetically, that it was a slower, more of like a ballad feel. Maybe at that point, we may want to use some more pedal, and maybe we can talk about that next week in our live check-in. A couple of tips there on pedal. Let me know if that helped. Let me keep moving here. I'd love to answer a question about the medley or about playing it better or about overcoming any hurdles you guys might have. Excuse me, guys. In the meantime, Lily Mae says, I wish I could live stream myself playing Christmas music in the app. That would be super cool. You know what, guys? I wish I was live streaming in the app with lessons as well. And that's actually...
In the group, Facebook group, like we don't let people...
Oh, you wish you could live stream within the group. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I misunderstood. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, Lily Mae. So unfortunately, there are certain restrictions within Facebook, especially with a private group like ours, as it relates to sharing broadcasts and things like that. So there are certain rules we have to kind of play by in the community. But we're always happy to hear and to see your progress, Lily Mae. We hope you'll continue to share stuff with us. Live streaming is a whole nother beast, though, right? All right, so let's see here. I want to answer a question from Robert Atkins. Says, can we access previous challenges? Yes, so we're doing the holiday medley now. The last one we did was Prelude in C. You guys remember that? That one's still in the app as well, you guys. And before that, we did You Raise Me Up. And that one was super fun. We had people from different difficulty levels filling in different parts of like a grand arrangement that we needed everyone's participation for. If you missed that, check it out. Our final recital video, I think, has a couple million views on Facebook now. Crazy. And there were a ton of submissions for that. That was a fun one. That still exists in the Challenges tab as well. Now, of course, this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier in tonight's live stream. Unfortunately, what happens if you go back to the old ones, or if you're playing catch-up on the current one, is you miss out on that community feel. So you want to make sure you try and catch them in the moment when we're really doing them. But yes, of course, if you can't, then they're still available in the app for you. Okay, here you go. Here's another question from Rayanne. Rayanne says, do you recommend grips for finger strengthening for beginner or intermediate players? If so, how many minutes or reps per finger a day? Rayanne, you know, I'll be honest with you. I personally have never done any sort of grip or finger strength workouts. That is not to say that they're not helpful. It's not to say that they're not, you know, a good thing. I just don't have any personal experience with them. I would probably say, just if I were to weigh in on it anyways, I would say that it's probably a good thing to do a little bit of that. I would say that I could see that there might be a danger of overdoing it and maybe causing some sort of an injury. And I would remind that we don't really need to have like beefy, muscular hands and fingers to be able to play the piano well. In fact, in some ways, we don't really want that. In fact, in some ways, we want to just be nimble and light and relaxed and loose. Now, of course, we want to be able to play with some power and some speed, but that doesn't necessarily come just from grip workouts. That's going to actually come from playing and practicing certain exercises that were designed to help you improve in those areas. So again, I would say, yeah, if you got one of those grip things, try it a little bit, see if you feel good with that. But I wouldn't overdo it, and I would instead put more of a focus on piano exercises that are meant for building dexterity and strength, as opposed to doing a kind of a workout. Good question. I don't think I've gotten one like that. Makes me want to look into it a little bit more, actually.
I think that's it for now.
I see one from Robert, or maybe that's from Lily, or maybe she's asking Robert something. I see. Okay. Oh, Lily, she's talking about catching up. Yeah, you 100% should catch up. It's been, I think, about a week, a little more, so less than 8 or so. And Lily Mae, it sounds like you've been in the advanced territory for some time now. So I would definitely agree with Robert that you should be able to jump right in. Even at the advanced level, I think just go for it. See what happens. I would always encourage you to dive in. Okay, Barbara Fazio. Hey, Barbara. Barbara says, I believe you mentioned a new or different program coming up for Playground. Am I right? And when would that happen? Yeah, I believe Barbara's referring to the new app that we've been talking about and promising you guys. Still going to be, you know, the app that you know and love with the songs you've downloaded, and it's going to be your playground sessions, but it's going to be an overhaul of the interface and the user experience and just the whole thing. It's going to be a much needed update. We'll agree on that. And the question on timing, we don't have an exact date yet, but it is coming up within a matter of months. I'll tell you that. It's definitely going to be in 2021. I can also tell you that. And we're really excited about it. We here on the team are testing various parts of it on a daily basis. That is coming up before you know it. All right, well, what I'd like to do, I guess, is kind of talk through another one of my favorite holiday pieces. And let's see if you guys recognize this one. Is Peanuts a good one for the pedal? Elta John is wondering. The Charlie Brown one. Yeah, that's right. Another Charlie Brown song, Christmas Time is Here. That's another one of my favorites. F major. And there's just an F major root position triad for now. And then for now we could call it an E flat major triad. That sounds weird without the dominant, doesn't it? So what we need to do is spice that chord up. But really, this is a F major 7, and here it is in just as a thirds, kind of a root position voicing. And then we go to an E flat dominant 7. But really, the melody mostly works when you fill in the upper extensions, and that's beyond where we need to go today. But that's when it really sounds like the full chord. It's an E flat 7 chord, and the melody is on the sharp 4. We also, if we think of it as an F major triad up here, over that chord, it kind of contains all those notes. And then we have this really cool walk down thing from B down to B flat minor, to A minor, A flat minor, G minor, and then finally C to F. Yeah, exactly. Robert says, now we need the Charlie Brown tree. That's right. Peanuts has a lot of flats. When we say Peanuts, are we talking about this one? I do not use the pedal for this one at all. Maybe at the last chord. But otherwise, I'm trying, again, to keep that light, bouncy feel. And doing this would only muddy that up. You lose the percussiveness of that bass line, too. Christmas Time is Here is what you call Peanuts. Thank you. Okay, cool. Sorry for the delay there in the conversation. Christmas Time is Here is the opposite feel of what I was just playing. And so you're absolutely right. Christmas Time is Here I would use the pedal pretty heavily. But I would definitely pick it up in between harmony like this. But then I'd push it right back down, see? So I'm going to kind of tell you what my foot's doing. I'm going to say up, down. Ready? Okay, it's down. Now up, down. Now I've released the F chord, and now I'm sustaining the E flat chord. Whoops. And then pedal up, down. Release the E flat, now I'm holding the new F chord. But 100% I want that dreaminess here, you know? Yeah, definitely. But again, I don't really want to hold it over as changing harmony, as harmony changes. And when we get into the second part of that excuse me, of that first phrase, it's going to be moving through that harmony a bit quicker, so I'll use the pedal a bit less. And that's this part. Okay, so I'm still probably going to hold it on each chord, but I'm going to pick it up in between. Like right now I'm holding it, but then as I push this, I'm down, I'm up, down. Now up, down. I'm holding it now as I move, but then up, down. Up, down. Now up, down. And I'm going to keep it down as I do this. Yes, Trevor Baines, thank you for summarizing that so well. Every chord change. That's it. That's the gist of it. Oh, Franklin, thank you. Franklin says, you're great. Oh, thanks, man. I really love just messing around with these themes. I've been playing this stuff for years, so it feels really fresh under my fingers, even when I'm just kind of making stuff up around it. Sarah says, jazz is just a reason for playing the wrong notes. I'll tell you, I know you're kidding, Sarah, but there is some truth to that, too. I mean, Miles Davis famously talked about how there's not really any wrong notes if you just play the wrong note with some conviction, or you slide to a different note. Who's to say it was the wrong note? And I like the freedom that jazz brings to you as an improviser because of that. But it also could be used as an excuse, right? The Peanut song, Elta says, has a lot of flats, and it gives it a jazzy feel. Yeah, I mean, first of all, you're definitely right. There's jazzy harmony written in, F major 7, and this dominant chord is a super, like, chunky one, E flat 13, sharp 11. I guess that was what I'd call that. Or an F over E flat 7. And then you get into this thing, half diminished, and then planing, lots of chromatic movement. Those are a lot of defining elements of jazz music for sure. Cool, all right. Still no questions on the medley. I'm going to assume that means everyone is moving right along and that it's been easy for you guys. That's also good news, but let us know your feedback either way, because we're constantly wanting to learn from your experience and make sure that the stuff we're bringing to you next is an improvement. So let us know. Andrew just reminded you in the chat as well. Everybody say hey to Andrew, by the way. Let's see, what's one more Charlie Brown one that I should play? Let's see here. I guess I can play that skating one. That Vince Guaraldi.
It's hard.
So that song is another Vince Guaraldi song, and that was called Skating. I love that one. I love the beginning kind of bouncy swing waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is a really cool piano exercise too. To move thirds like that, because you've got to cross over your hand. In fact, let's spend a minute or two on that. All right, I want you guys all to get in, well, whoever's in front of your keyboard, get your thumb on F. I would do it up here on this higher one, above middle C, maybe even an octave higher. And we're going to get into this 5-finger position here with a B natural as well, okay? And then what we're going to do is start with 2 and 4. We're going to keep our hand in the same position, so 2 and 4, and then 3 and 5, 2 and 4, 1 and 3, back to 2 and 4. So 2 and 4, 3 and 5, 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, and back to 1 and 3. That's the pattern. Then, if that's not tricky enough, you take your 2 and 4th fingers and you pivot over to this new position. Now we're down by 2 notes. So we go pivot. Now we do the same pattern. Pivot and same pattern. Woo! Okay.
Questions?
Yeah. You would like to hear from... So Franklin Gonzalez asks to hear about the transition from Joy to the World into Jingle Bells. I see. So briefly, what I'll say is the way we've structured this challenge, and you'll see, maybe today was the day, actually, that we released, on the rookie level at least, the transition lesson, the medley lesson, where we take what was learned in Song 1, or Joy to the World, and what was learned in Song 2, or Jingle Bells, and we talk about how to put them together. So I think that lesson was today, and so I can talk briefly through that at the, let's say at the rookie level for now, but we end Joy to the World with something like that, and then we rest, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 measures of rest, and what we need to do in that time, excuse me, in that time of rest is move from our C position up to F position. And that's not too big of a jump. We're just going up to here. Okay, now it depends on what level. Advanced is going to go to here. Or so, I forget. Rookie or intermediate, I believe, is here. And then rookie with the bass notes. But yeah, in fact, the transition could be a lot more difficult. We've got 2 measures of rest in which to shift gears, and we can also listen to the accompaniment, which builds our momentum up, boom, and then we land into Jingle Bells. So I encourage you to check today's lesson, try that for yourself in the interactive practice segments that follow, and I think you're gonna see it's not as hard as it may seem. Okay, Elta John asks, can Phil return to teaching throughout the challenge versus the demos? It helps to be talked through the transitions. So Elta, I assume that you are on the advanced path, and the reason I say that is because the rookie and intermediate level challenges do have teaching lessons for every single day. Every day there's a, every segment there's a teaching video. What we've done differently for the advanced path, as Elta may be pointing out here, is that we're teaching sort of an upfront lesson. So I'm saying, here's the general stuff about Joy to the World, this, and that. Now, go learn it. And then you've got several days to go through the notation on your own. Then I see you for Song 2. That's Jingle Bells. Again, I point out kind of the gist of things, and then I send you on your way to walk through Jingle Bells on your end. So that's something we're trying new here, Elta, for the advanced level players. Part of that is because, of course, if you can put yourself in our shoes, you know, the fewer videos that we have to create for each challenge, the more challenges we can offer up. But also, it's because we think a lot of the advanced players, and some of the feedback we've been getting, is that advanced players may not need to have a video for every single segment. Maybe more than just one or two, but maybe not for every segment. So we're still trying to strike that right balance, and that's just another reason why I want to encourage you guys to always share your feedback of your experience with us, because we're always looking to make tweaks and improve. But having said that, Elta, if you have a specific question about the advanced arrangement, feel free to ask away here, and I can try my best to help you. Who wants to win a free song credit in the interactive app? I know somebody out there does. So what I'd like to do now is cue up a little thing called a pop quiz. Boom, pop quiz, you guys. Let's see here. For those who are new, here's how this works. I'll ask a question, you write your answer in the chat, and I will pick my winners from the chat. Typically, I'll say the first correct answer wins. Sometimes I'll say the third one wins, or whatever. We like to have some fun. And if you win, then we will award you a free song credit that you can apply to our song store in the interactive app. You can download a song you'd like on us. So, I've got... All right, here's a question for you guys. We've gotten to song 2 in our holiday medley so far, right? Song 1, Joy to the World. Song 2, Jingle Bells. Here's my question, and the first correct answer wins. What key is Jingle Bells in this arrangement? It's the same for all 3 levels, so it doesn't matter what level you're working on. And I'll give you a little bit of a hint. Well, not a hint, but I'll give you a piece of this here. Joy to the World, song 1, is written in the key of C major. And we know that because the key signature tells us no sharps and no flats. And of course, because we're playing Cs. And then we get to Jingle Bells, and the key signature changes, and we move hand position. So my question once more, first correct answer gets it, is what key is the Jingle Bells portion of this arrangement written in? The correct answer is F. F major, V-L-I-S. That's a new one for me.
Me too.
Welcome, welcome V-L-I-S. You are our winner. So first you got to let me know, do you have the Playground Sessions app, first of all? And if you do, you win a free song credit. If you don't, I got to encourage you to sign up for the free trial that you can get just through being a YouTube viewer. playgroundsessions.com/YouTube-free-trial. Anyways, you win. You're our winner. And I'm going to go ahead and give it to the first 3 winners as well. So VLIS, you are going to win 2 song credits for being our first correct answer. And then we have Elta John, then we have Robert Atkins, and we have Rianne Landfear. Those are our...
4.
Oh, was that 4?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Give it to her anyway.
I'll give it to you anyways. That's my bad, Rianne. So there you go. So VLIS, you win 2 for being our first one. And then each of the next viewers, students, whatever you want to call yourselves, each get 1. Elta John gets 1, Robert Atkins gets 1, and Rianne Lanford gets 1. Great work, you guys. That's correct. Jingle Bells then transposes to the key of F major, or I should say modulates to the key of F major. And that means B flats are automatically flat. Okay, there we go. Pop quiz number 1 complete. Good work, everyone. Now, what I'm going to do is give you guys one last chance to ask me anything holiday related. Anything holiday related at all. Don't hold back, you guys. And in the meantime, I'm going to break down that finger exercise I was doing before from the Vince Guaraldi piece called Skating. By the way, I believe Skating is in the app. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I know this is. And I believe so is this. I think Skating might be in the app too. Skating is this one. So that, again, starting on an F position is 2-4, 3-5, 2-4, 1-3, 2-4, and 1-3. And then 2 and 4 come over, thumb out, same pattern in this new position. Pivot over again. And you could really just do that endlessly. It's a great exercise for your fingers. And once you get that down, you can add some harmony. The progression is, hey, you may not be surprised to hear 1-4-5. We see that all the time, right? Here's another example of a great use of 1-4-5. One, 4, 5, back to 4, and back to 1. Now, what I'm doing when I spice that up a bit is I'm spreading that voicing out into an octave, and in fact, sometimes I'll make it an octave with a 10th. And that also allows me to add some nice rhythm. What?
Your other hand's still free.
My other hand's still free to then do this. So if you spread your voicing out, you've now got 2 to 3 chunks within a chord that you can rhythmicize. Right? And then you've got your other hand free. So, but really that just boils down, what I'm doing in the left hand, it all just boils down to 1, 4, and 5. Oops. Elta John has a great question. What is a good present for a piano player? Well, we were having some activity in the chat earlier talking about some grip exercises. Yeah. That could be something for a user that maybe wants to get a little bit stronger fingers to play. Andrew just had a great idea for a wonderful gift for anyone in the family, whether you're young or old, whether you have played piano for years or you've never played a day in your life. A great gift would be playground sessions, of course. And even if you have the app already, maybe you've got a keyboard from, you know, your family hand-me-down, or maybe you've got a cheap one to start and you want to upgrade. You could also get a keyboard from the Playground Sessions website, and there's a lot of good deals going on right now as well, given that it's kind of that shopping season, and tomorrow. Yeah. So if you're looking for piano-related gifts, definitely want to try and take advantage of some of that stuff. I don't want to get too salesy here. But yeah, beyond that, I would say any kind of for me at least, any kind of a book, whether it's, you know, historical or even fiction, if it's related to music and the piano, you already know I'm going to be interested in it. So you could start there as well. maybe you could find a story about a favorite pianist of this person's. Books can be a good resource if you're unsure of what kind of gift to get. But yeah, definitely check out Playground Sessions. Everyone here in the chat, I just assume, has Playground Sessions, except for, of course, our friend Sarah Pickles. I wonder if... Where is it? Sarah. Oh, Sarah Pickles has a question here. Will Santa still come, even under COVID lockdown? Santa Claus is not coming to town. The answer is yes, of course. Next question. Elta says, will Playground Sessions ever have duets for multi-family members who play? It's a great idea, Elta. One thing that we're toying around with for a future Playground Sessions offering could be various medley type arrangements like that, where you have part one, part two, you could learn them both. And it could be really cool later in the future and hopefully not in the distant future, to be able to do real-time stuff like that. It'd be cool if I could play one part of an arrangement while Andrew, for example, is playing the other part, and Lily Mae is playing the third part, and we're all in different places around the world. That'd be pretty cool. Who knows? Maybe we'll get there, you guys. But I'm going to say I've got time for one more question, and then...
Charles Smith has a good one.
Okay, let's go to Charles Smith. Hey, Charles. Charles says, this is a semi-advanced question. What passing chord would you pick for moving from C major to F major? Okay, that's fun. First, I guess I would say, what's the context that we're in? What's the setting? You know, C major to F major. We could take skating, for example. That's like C to F, right? So you're saying, what kind of a cool chord might we put in between to pass our way from C to F and have it sound cool, right? Well, there's plenty of things we could do. We could do a kind of a tritone sub like that. And that would be an F sharp chord or a G flat, so C major to like a G flat 7 to an F or F6, 9. You could also walk up the scale, kind of like that Lean On Me style. Okay, so, and if you don't have enough time to fit all those chords in, you could just approach it from a step below F diatonically. So that would mean just basically C and then E, F. And actually there I did a C over E, but you could also make it E minor, you know. Sounds like something, like a Macklemore song or something.
Sounds like a Billie Eilish.
It does, yeah. So that could work too. Really, when you're looking for options, Charles, think about root motion. That can help a lot. If you're starting here and you're going to here, what are some creative ways to get here? Well, you could do, all right, we talked about that, or you could do, that's one thing. I mean, really, you could do anything. It depends. I mean, check it out. I'll put a 5 chord in as a passing chord. So it just depends. Robert says, I think it has nutmeg and cinnamon. Oh, I'm like, I thought you were talking about my chord, like it was a spiced up version of the chord. Maybe that could work. But no, you're talking about eggnog. All right, cool, guys. Well, I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going to say next week, we're going to check back in one more time on this holiday medley. By then, we should be into song 3, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe even beyond. So we'll have much more to talk about then. And if no one has a ton of holiday questions then, maybe we can talk a bit more about some of my favorite holiday songs and some exercises that you guys can do that we can glean from those, like that skating fingering exercise. Thanks, everyone.